anytime he's been challenged, I think he's really stepped up to the plate, so to speak.
The last health update David Hess provided was a positive one. The former O's pitcher had just gotten out of surgery, and it went as good as they could have hoped for. That's at least what he said, which is great. Today, Hess posted a new update. He said his lungs look to be clear of those nodules with angiosarcoma, and before the major surgery where his tumor comes out, he has to do 16 weeks of a less intensive chemotherapy. Hess is staying positive through it all, and Birdland is certainly behind him in his battle. As the O's get set for their tilt with Seattle tonight, the team has traded right-handed pitcher Spencer Watkins to the Astros for cash considerations. That's it for Sports Unlimited.
We are dealing with our latest weather maker, and it's leading to rain and storms around the state. Unfortunately, the rain continues overnight, and tomorrow we have another chance for scattered showers and storms. We're not looking at a washout, and we are talking higher temperatures. Temperatures reach the mid-80s by the afternoon tomorrow, and then it's the upper 80s and possibly the low 90s on Sunday. But we'll have another round of storms as we finish the weekend. Coming up, I'll let you know how long the rain lasts and how much we could see in my full forecast in about 20 minutes. Back to you.
And you can put the power of the Weather Authority Storm Center in your hands. Just download the free WBFF Weather Authority app for your smartphone. Use our powerful Doppler radar to follow storms right down to your very own street. Just go to your app store and search WBFF to get started. Coming up on Fox 45 News at 6, neighbors spent the night in jail after protesting BGE work in their neighborhood. Hearing from city officials who say the concerned citizens should have gotten out of the way. And an 8-man drug trafficking operation now dismantled. What we are learning about a Baltimore gang bust tonight.
Questions being raised after 3 women protesting against BGE are arrested. Fox 45 is asking the mayor if this was an appropriate use of police resources to resolve a peaceful demonstration. And we're following breaking news. A verdict has been reached in the 2017 murder of a Baltimore firefighter. We have reaction and the fallout. And former Mayor Sheila Dixon hinting at another run for office, why one expert says she needs to announce soon and the competition that she could be facing.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News at 6.
This was a a show of force. It was them trying to bully these residents into getting in line. BG&E may be accustomed to having everybody else dance to their song, but these residents are not going to do it.
Well, the 3 women arrested yesterday for protesting BGE utility work in Federal Hill now back home after spending the night at Central Booking. Good evening. I'm Maxine Stryker. Tonight, an attorney for those demonstrators says the fight continues as some question the city's response to yesterday's protest. Fox 45's Amy Simpson has the story.
Today, it's a ghost town, not a protester or even utility crew in sight. But just 24 hours ago, it was a different sight here on Warren Ave, all as our cameras were rolling.
And you are in violation of criminal law Title 6, 304A, interfering with a public utility.
The tense moments played out live on television Thursday afternoon.
Excuse me, I need you to back up. Media, out of the street as well. Maybe you're under arrest.
Baltimore women had their hands zip tied before being loaded into the back of a police van.
We're not doing this.
Follow her.
Arrested for protesting BGE's work to install external gas regulators, something the utility company insists is for safety and improved gas distribution across the city.
It's really gross what happened yesterday.
You're going that way.
Baltimore police arresting Sandra Seward of Federal Hill, Magdalena Fitzsimmons of Washington Hill,
Film this. What are you doing to her?
and Claudia Tolles of Fells Point for allegedly tampering with gas equipment, disorderly conduct, and failure to obey a lawful order.
They spent last night in prison for standing up for their rights and for the rights of others.
Those 3 women reportedly released from custody around noon today. Their attorney calling the charges laughable.
You know, they were protesting on a public street, standing up for their neighbor. The fact that they were charged with disorderly conduct, I mean, I haven't seen more calm and polite protesters.
But Thursday's standoff remained peaceful until just before the arrests. More than a dozen utility workers standing by all day. These Baltimoreans have been outspoken for months, strongly against BGE's work to install external meters across the city, alleging the company will use this construction as a guise to raise rates. But this week's standoff, with the group intentionally blocking crews from digging up Warren Ave, came after they said 4 neighbors had their gas shut off abruptly.
That pamphlet on the door, 4 residents got between 9 and 10 a.m. By lunchtime, their gas was out. They're supposed to give 14 days notice.
What we're saying is you don't have the right to illegally shut off the gas to our neighbors.
Today, Fox 45 News asking BGE to respond, knowing residents are so strongly opposed to the project that they're willing to be arrested. BGE said it has nothing more to add today, after saying in part yesterday, residents purposefully entered its work site, putting contractors at risk of injury. Neighbors in Federal Hill said they were in shock after witnessing the arrests play out in front of them.
The city leadership and the police department are here to protect us and to be our advocates, and none of that occurred today.
Questioning the city's response when they feel other problems continue to fester in Baltimore.
I think that everybody's time could be better spent dealing with the real issues that we have in this city.
Today, we also asked Mayor Brandon Scott's office and Acting Commissioner Rich Worley if this was an appropriate use of Baltimore police resources to resolve a peaceful demonstration. That question was ignored. The pair addressing the standoff at a press conference this afternoon.
BPD did their work. Monsi and the mayor's office of neighborhood did their work of explaining that to folks. And then, unfortunately, BPD had to take action after warnings. Folks can protest. They could have went across the street. They can protest until the cows come home.
All they had to do was move to the left or the right and give them access to the property and where they needed to work, and we would not have done anything.
And that group that's been pushing back against BGE for months said it was planning to file suit this afternoon, asking a judge for a temporary restraining order against BGE's installation of those external regulators. In Federal Hill, Amy Simpson, Fox 45 News.
Breaking tonight, a verdict has been reached in the 2017 killing of a Baltimore firefighter. A jury has found Daniel Green guilty of murdering firefighter John Hickey. Hickey was found shot to death inside his home in Upper Fells Point back in November 2017. According to court documents, Green's former girlfriend was able to identify Green as the person captured on surveillance video, breaking into Hickey's home the night of the murder. Fox 45 spoke with members of both families just moments after the guilty verdict was read.
I finally got the justice I need. Oh, it's hard, but I finally did it.
It was a total fabrication. They made the whole thing up. It wasn't Daniel Green.
Sentencing is scheduled for September. Taking a live look outside tonight now. Gloomy skies still hanging over the Baltimore area and more rain on the way. Meteorologist Jasmine Lomax is in now with the latest. Jasmine.
Thanks, Maxine. We're keeping close watch on the HD radar as we deal with showers and a few storms around the state. We're even seeing some areas of heavy rain, and that has prompted an aerial flood warning for Montgomery County. But we have the potential for heavy rain across the Baltimore area as we head into the evening and night. So just make sure that you're driving safely. You may notice a little bit of ponding on the roadways. This is all from our latest weather maker. We're watching a low pressure system to our north and also a cold front that extends from that. Ahead of that cold front, we're seeing areas of rain, and unfortunately, it continues tonight, and we have another chance for showers and storms tomorrow. Across the state, we're dealing with below average temperatures once again, with numbers mostly in the 70s. Heading into the night, we'll drop to the 50s and the 60s, staying pretty mild. But tomorrow, it is looking a little warmer, with high temperatures reaching the mid-80s by the afternoon. That's followed by the upper 80s on Sunday and again on Monday. And notice over the next 3 days, we'll have the daily chance at least for scattered showers and potential storms. You'll notice on the future scan, we've got the chance for areas of heavy rain tonight, and the showers continue off and on into the day tomorrow. You may be waking up to areas of light rain, so just make sure that you are driving safely. Coming up, I'll have a look at just how much rain we could see in my full forecast. Back to you.
Now to your election 2024 coverage. Baltimore City's highly anticipated mayoral race is starting to take shape, with several candidates now testing the waters. Most recently, former Mayor Sheila Dixon walking right up to the line of another run. Take a listen.
I've given this a tremendous amount of thought. I love my private life, but I also know what it takes to really move things forward in a positive way, that we can make the kind of impact for our schools, for city services, for businesses in this city.
Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor caught up with a political analyst about Dixon's chances and how she could stack up against the competition.
Well, political analyst John Dede says Dixon has the name recognition to pull ahead, but that this race won't be easily won.
We're on the brink of Baltimore City's election season, and while Mayor Brandon Scott is the only candidate to officially announce a bid for mayor, a long list of potential challengers is starting to take shape.
I know I can make a tremendous difference in the city.
Former Mayor Sheila Dixon, the latest to tease her chances.
Is there this possibility or probability that you would run again?
There is a strong possibility that that's the case. I think that this is the time that if I'm going to do it, I have to do it now. I feel if the voters, because that's the voters are the most important, and they have to make choices. If they gave me that choice, I would not let them down.
She was dipping her foot into the water more than her toe.
Political analyst John Dede predicting an official announcement could come any day, or at least he says it should.
I've always felt the sooner you get in, the better, because that way you get the attention focused on you, and she'll get several days of attention, good and bad.
Meanwhile, mixed reactions already pouring in regarding Dixon's rocky past. After being elected mayor in 2007, Dixon's term saw historic drops in the city's homicide. But after 2 years, her tenure abruptly ended with an embezzlement charge that forced her out of office.
I got mental health. I did a lot to really help me to ground myself.
Some residents have yet to forgive and forget. On Fox 45's Facebook page, one person writing, quote, "Baltimore, stop making the same mistakes. Dixon is going backwards. She is shady too." Another writing, "This is the biggest joke I have read this month." Still, several other comments all past the controversy. One writing, "I really, really hope she runs."
I think they're going to be able to forgive depending on what the crime rate does. If you get over 300 murders again, people are going to be more forgiving. If it drops under 300, people are going to be like, I guess Brandon finally has things under control.
As for other potential candidates catching Dede's eye, beyond Scott and Dixon, Comptroller Bill Henry, Councilman Eric Costello, and Senator Mary Washington.
So I think that it's going to be very competitive.
In order to come out on top, Dede believes two topics need tackling.
And it's going to be one that's really going to focus a lot on the issues of crime and education.
And fundraising is going to be another challenge for Mayor Scott's challengers. Campaign finance reports show that Scott has already raised about $500,000. Reporting from outside of City Hall, Rebecca Pryor, Fox 45 News.
Baltimore city officials announcing they've taken down an 8-member drug trafficking gang known as the Cary Boys Gang. Here are the 8 members arrested. Acting Police Commissioner Richard Worley says the investigation began back in January when they discovered what they believed to be a drug trafficking along North Cary Street. Investigators seized 2 firearms, more than 1,000 vials of cocaine, and more than 1,500 gel capsules with fentanyl. Officials say the search has stretched into Baltimore County.
Sometimes individuals may lay their heads in different areas, and let me just go ahead and leave it like that. And but it's all connected. You know, when you look at crime, it's connected. Baltimore County, Baltimore City, and so you know, the law of the streets, unfortunately, sometime in Baltimore City, bring individuals back to areas.
Investigators now working to see if any of the guns seized are connected to other crimes. 2 of the 8 suspects have been released on home confinement. The rest remain in custody.
TikTok has revealed some Americans' data is stored in China. I'm Janae Bowens in Washington. I'll have more on what this could mean for the app's future in the U.S.
Despite assurances from TikTok's CEO that no American data is stored on its servers in China, the company has revealed some American data is in fact stored in China. It emphasized calls for Congress to pass an all-out ban of the social media app. National correspondent Janae Bowens breaks down the latest developments.
No, storage has always been in Virginia and Singapore.
New information from TikTok has determined this congressional testimony from TikTok's CEO back in March was not true. Some American information is stored in China.
We've established now time and time again that the Chinese Communist Party can access that data
if the data is stored in China.
All of this happening as TikTok's COO announced Thursday they're moving on. In response to a bipartisan probe, TikTok said in a letter, certain creator data is not protected. This means some personal information of American creators who make money from the app is stored in China.
It's clearly a national security threat. Having U.S. data stored in China is unacceptable.
The federal government and 27 states have banned TikTok on government-issued phones, and Montana is the first state to ban the app completely. Calls to follow their lead across the country are strengthening.
We need to do what's best for the American people and what's best for our country as a whole.
In addition to the privacy concerns, lawmakers are also calling for a ban in light of social media's impact on the youngest users. Tom Romanoff with the Bipartisan Policy Center says there's a question of constitutionality.
The First Amendment issue around banning a social media app is one that sets a precedent for other apps to be banned, which is the main concern there.
Ban or not, Jake Denton with the Heritage Foundation says lawmakers can't trust TikTok.
And this should serve as the nail in the coffin. If they come to us again and say that, one of these different areas of concern has been resolved, why would we believe them?
Democrat Senator Richard Blumenthal and Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn put out a joint statement saying in part, TikTok executives appear to have repeatedly and intentionally misled Congress. They go on to say TikTok's response makes it crystal clear that Americans' data is still exposed to Beijing's draconian and pervasive spying regimes.
And today, will TikTok remove that American data from Chinese servers?
Well, it doesn't appear that way. TikTok says they are only deleting protected data, which does not include that personal information from paid American creators. Now, the company has also said they will not give any American data to the Chinese government. But as we've heard from lawmakers, there's a lot of doubt around what's actually happening in China. Maxine.
All right, Janae, thank you for joining us.
Right now, you're taking a look over Towson and over the harbor. It's very gray and gloomy as we deal with showers. You can see the rain on the HD radar. It's all a part of our latest weather maker, and that weather maker will have impacts on your plans this weekend. We're keeping close watch on these showers and storms as they continue to move across the state. We are seeing some areas of moderate to heavy rain close to Towson. We even had an aerial flood warning issued for a part of Montgomery County from that line of heavy rain. Expect more rain off and on throughout the evening and then tonight. It's all from this cold front and the low pressure system to the north of it. It's leading to rain and storms around the region. Again, rain continues overnight. So if you have anywhere to be this evening or even tomorrow morning, make sure that you're driving safely and be sure to keep watch on the radar. Temperatures are currently in the 70s as we deal with below average temperatures once again. Overnight will drop to the 50s and the 60s, and then we are looking at higher temperatures tomorrow. So expect rain and storms tonight. Then tomorrow, a few scattered showers and storms during the afternoon, but it doesn't look like a washout. We are talking warmer temperatures through the weekend, and it's going to feel more like summer by Sunday. We'll have showers tonight and at times heavy rain. Then tomorrow morning, we could be waking up to areas of light rain. Then for the afternoon, we'll stay mostly cloudy, but there could be a few stray showers and storms. If you have plans to be outside, just make sure to have a backup plan in case there are storms in your area. As we head into Sunday, we start with mostly dry weather, but later in the day, there will be the chance for rain and storms. And on Monday, we'll have the best chance for numerous showers and storms across the state. Our rain chances start to decrease after that. And on Thursday and Friday, we're finally talking a mostly dry forecast with partly cloudy skies on Thursday and Friday. We're keeping watch on Tropical Storm Brett as it moves over the Caribbean. It's expected to weaken. Meanwhile, Cindy will remain over the open Atlantic. It shouldn't have much impact on land. Eventually, next week, it will weaken back to a tropical depression. Tonight, our temperatures drop to 68 with showers and storms on the way. Then we're looking at highs reaching the mid-80s tomorrow with the chance for showers and storms again. Coming up, I'll have a look at when the rain will finally end and how high temperatures will be for the weekend in the exclusive 10-day forecast.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A week of storms produced some great images, such as these mammatus clouds over Buckley Space Force Base in Colorado. This amazing shot of spider lightning near Austin, Texas includes a bonus rainbow in the middle. And in North Texas, the pronounced anvil cloud seen here is atop a mature thunderstorm, while the towering clouds below are likely new storms starting to form.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Instagram.
In tonight's Assignment America, a new training program for active shooter situations is underway for Uvalde, Texas school district police officers. It comes almost a month after the one-year anniversary of the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School. Jordan Elder from our Sinclair sister station in San Antonio has the story.
Shooter, we got a shooter in the building. Threat, shooter.
We watched today as a new set of Uvalde CISD police officers were trained in mass casualty responses. Right now, the department has 8 officers, which they tell us is fully staffed. But if they get more funding, they could add even more.
Moving.
More than a year after the tragedy at Robb Elementary, the Uvalde School District Police Department is trying to start over.
We've been able to get equipment that we've needed, upgrade our weaponry and our inventory.
An important step in regaining the trust of the community. Superintendent Gary Patterson says officers worked on hostage recovery, active threat responses, and potential panic that could ensue after a threat is called in.
We're trying to look at all the scenarios and train our force in as many possible situations as we could in a short period of time.
They've also worked on communication. Patterson says they're streamlining that with the city and Texas DPS in case of a future incident. But the memory of Robb Elementary still looms large. The district says they notified the community in advance that this would be happening, especially in case anyone heard the simulated gunfire.
We're still in the recovery phase, and so any of those triggers with threats increase the anxiety and the intensity and the stress levels more than it might in other places.
Now, it was only district police officers being trained here today, whereas in other trainings we've attended, it's been multiple agencies. We're told that is an opportunity on the table in the future for UCISD.
Each component understands what the priorities are for the other component, whether it's fire, EMS, or PD, and then they get that networking, get that meshing pushed together.
Instructors stressed the benefit of collaboration at a separate training in Poteet last year. Patterson says they hope to train with their partners soon.
And we're working together on many things, and so a future training together makes a lot of sense for all of us. It just didn't